Hey guys, it's Jared.
Stoops.
So it's been a while.
It has.
We kind of just wanted to explain, why we haven't been uploading a lot recently, and then kind of the direction we're thinking about taking with the channel in the upcoming months, weeks.
Well, it's a good question because we don't really know. Hey. So this is a podcast, as you can probably maybe tell. And by podcast, I mean we're talking into a microphone and there's no actual editing. So low effort content delivered directly to you for no cost. And yeah, we don't know how many of these we're gonna do, and we don't know how long we're gonna do them, but we're definitely doing one, and that's what this is.
Yep. So most likely it won't be a super regular, like once or twice a week or once every 2 weeks even. I mean, it could be at times, but kind of if, stuff is happening in the gaming tech area that we find interesting and that we're kind of involved with, then we'll probably want to talk about it. And so that's kind of how these are going to happen.
Yep. Yeah, he kind of brought up the topics there, but it's gonna kind of be gaming centric, but also could literally be whatever we feel like talking about. So yeah, there's no set genres necessarily, but focus on gaming sort of as a base, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess that oh, well, the podcasts themselves, as you can probably already tell, are not super scripted, super structured. We basically have a list of things that we may or may not talk about, and we may go off this list, and there's not like a script we're following or anything. So if you're hearing us say a lot, and if we go off on like 15 tangents, then that's why. But that's okay because it's casual. We enjoy casual things.
Yep. Yeah, we're trying to make it kind of laid back. Just, talk about stuff that's fun. So, on that note, let's get into it.
I don't know where you want to start.
All right, so PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, that's kind of the game that the two of us and our friend have been playing a lot lately. And there's been a little bit of controversy, not with the American version, which is where we would be playing, but the advertisements in the Chinese version of the game. So we wanted to kind of cover that, kind of talk about what we thought about that. So,
well, what I know is that there are advertisements in the Chinese version of the game. I'm going to quickly pull up the tab that I closed earlier about this. Well, okay, what I do know is there was a big influx of negative reviews on Steam for Battlegrounds because of this. And I saw the headline and I was like, what? That's kind of dumb, but I didn't actually read about it because I'm not Chinese. But okay, so third-party gaming VPN. In-game advertisement of a third-party gaming VPN. I guess the question is how the advertisements are working. If it's like I guess it doesn't really have a picture here. I was kind of hoping there'd be.
To me, that third-party VPN advertisement, and it has a positive effect on gameplay. So I guess kind of the controversy with that is, well, why wouldn't Bluehole, that's the name of the company who makes Battlegrounds, Bluehole, why wouldn't they just, fix their servers? Instead of advertising for you to pay this other company to fix their stuff, why don't they just fix it? So.
Yeah, well, is that the purpose here? I'm not sure if they're doing it to make more money. I mean, obviously that's the bottom, the end goal here. But it's so strange that they would only do it in the Chinese version of the game. And Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Because, yeah, okay, the article points out it's not free to play, and there's advertisements in it, but only, I don't know. That's weird. See, I don't get this.
I don't know. To me, if the developers are allowing an advertisement for something to fix, the poor state, I don't know how bad the servers are, but if people are complaining about server lag and all these issues, and then they're paying money for this software that seems to fix some of those for them, why wouldn't they just, put, instead of advertising that, why not just, fix it themselves? I can see it. I mean, I'm sure there's more to it. Do we know if there's a connection between whatever company offers the VPN and Bluehole, or is it just?
That's a good question, actually. Yeah, and I'm looking in Google Images right now, and I'm not seeing any examples of it. Oh, that might be because I put PC Gamer in front of the query. No, it is not. Huh? Yeah, because the article said reports of this happening from Chinese players, so it's not like it's been confirmed, or it's not like there's screenshots of it, not from what I can see, which is kind of strange. Here's a Reddit thread. Yes, the Battleground subreddit, they are the experts, clearly. Okay, well, I wonder what the Steam reviews look like now. Oh, that was a fast scroll. Okay.
Yeah, let's look at those. See. I mean, the game is still growing. I mean, so.
Oh, yeah.
This is, I mean, I don't know how major of an issue this is. I've only heard about it once, but I mean, there's over 1 million players at almost any time. So
yeah, that's a strange thing. Like, it's such a popular game. They must be making so much money off of it. There's no way they need more. No. There's no way they need to resort to something as primitive, I guess,
shadowy,
sketchy as in-game as in-game advertising to make more money when they're already. I should have clicked remember my password. Oh well. Frick. All right, well, I will just do it through the browser. But anyway, okay, this one of the comments on this Reddit thread says, well, first of all, he's asking for a screenshot of the ad, which is the exact same thing I'm saying, because there are no screenshots that I can see. I'll dig through this thread in a second. But he also mentions that China ISPs inject ads into web pages, and the PUBG character screen, what he says basically is a web page. I think it literally is a web page.
I've read forum posts about people saying it actually is a web page, and I was always wondering, what game needs a refresh button for the UI? But if it's a website, that makes sense. If a website breaks, usually you try to reload it, right? So.
Oh, okay. So there's a screenshot here. Wait, is that the ad, or is that?
Yeah, so that's an advertisement.
That's a very strange looking advertisement. But, okay, so this is not a web-based injection, says Sonic Edit. And that apparently this is straight from Bluehole themselves. They actually changed the UI.
And it does look, it looks similar to other UI elements from the game. So
and it's obviously it's in Chinese, so I can't read it.
Yeah,
surprise.
But that's not there when I open the game. So that's a discrepancy.
Exactly.
So
if it's just that, then that's not super invasive.
That's not bad.
Yeah, obviously it's.
I could see people getting a little salty just because
the mere fact that it exists is dumb, but that in and of itself
you
is
pay
not...
$30 for the game, and then there's an advertisement when the servers aren't great.
Okay, and then someone's complaining about
they finally fixed that. Okay, so there was this bug.
No, it's not fixed.
It defaults to the Asian server
if you're playing on your own. At least for me, sure? I've heard conflicting reports from different people, which doesn't make any sense. But at least for me, when I play solo, the default is the Asian server in solo third person. Even if the last game I played was on the NA server solo first person.
I think I'll have to check. I'll have to get back with it. But I think mine, I think mine fixed. I think it works.
Well, you are.
But I'm usually in a party still when I launch, and maybe it saves it.
If you're not in a party,
I haven't tried that.
If you leave the party, then it'll
Okay.
change it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know. Their UI is just so unbelievably bad.
I have a conspiracy theory. They default you to the Asian server, and then eventually they're going to add that advertisement to everywhere. They're trying to convince you you're from China, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I guess we are all Chinese on this blessed day. Well. Oh yeah, I was gonna look at the reviews on Steam. I guess I probably just could have Googled what is this when Steam is responsive. Yeah, and I don't want it to be responsive. I just want to search. I was kind of hoping that would work. You would think that they would get more traffic if they did that. But no,
Probably.
Right. Oh yeah, the both recent and total reviews are both mixed. Recent are at 45%. The 82,000 user reviews in the last 30 days are positive, and 61% of the 215,000 user reviews.
I thought it was a lot more positive than that.
Holy cow! Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let's dig into that.
So let's see. This is most helpful in the past 30 days.
Yeah. Let's open that. Optimization.
This one's not about the ads. Interesting. So he's complaining about optimization.
I agree. I mean, we both have pretty higher end, at least, gaming computers, and we both run into a lot of performance issues at times. So,
especially me. Oh, okay. So this guy's, they've had a lot of
get banned. I have not gotten banned. Maybe it's just because I suck. It might be because I'm awful.
Well, there was a lot of controversy about getting banned.
Shroud. I know one of the popular streamers got banned for riding in a car with someone in solos or something.
Yeah. Well, there was someone who killed a streamer, and I forget exactly how it worked, but he killed him no. I think the streamer was abusing a bug and didn't get banned, and then someone abused the bug to kill the streamer, and the streamer reported him, and he got banned. So I think, don't quote me on that, I think that's what happened. Anyway, so yeah, they've had a lot of missteps.
Here we go.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a review about this.
Oh boy.
Okay. So the only official accelerator. So it is actually endorsed by.
Yeah.
By them.
Yeah, I can't think of any. Obviously it's for money is the bottom line, but I feel like they don't need to resort to something like that to make money, considering how well this game is selling, and considering that this is so bad for their PR. This is really bad for the reputation, because they've already made a bunch of mistakes, and now they are continuing to make mistakes. And yet, I know if I go right now to the homepage of Steam and I scroll down to top sellers. Yep, second one is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, right under Cuphead.
Yep.
And I would go and see. I don't think I have it enhanced.
I'm kind of happy to see, that they're mixed, just because usually with these early access games, I know I fall into this. I mean, the number of early access games I've bought is incredible. I've probably bought more early access than not early access, unless you count Humble Bundle. But I mean, I'm kind of. It's welcome to see. I mean, I know it's not a good thing, negative reviews, but it's welcome to see people being, more open and honest about the state of the game in early access. Because there's people like, well, this game is, it's in early access, and using that as an excuse to, and this is a whole can of worms, the early access, can you excuse bad optimization and all that. And I don't think you can, so I'm glad to see it, you know.
Yeah, that's always a hard thing when you're looking at the Steam reviews, particularly for early access games, because you see the negative reviews that are like, oh, I really love this game, but I have to give it a negative review because there's like one stupid thing that keeps me from having fun all the time. Or the positive reviews that say, oh, it will be good when they're done. Mm-hmm. But currently, maybe it's not worth.
You don't know. What if
Yeah, exactly.
What if they lose all their money and
Yeah,
stop?
exactly.
Yeah.
I see. As I was saying that, I thought of Astroneer.
Oh, this is so disappointing.
I'm curious.
We were so...
Oh, yeah, it's down the mix.
Yeah, I was so excited. So this was a game that Stoops, me, and Ben played a good amount. It's sort of this like sandboxy, pixely world.
I would say voxel.
Voxel, but yeah,
It's like low poly, I guess.
Yeah, right now it's early access and it's very bare bones. But the developers had this roadmap and everything, and they said how they were hiring all these new people. And then I haven't heard anything about the game in months now. Yeah. Since about 6 months now, probably. So
there was an update.
Yeah, I know they've been updating, but people have been pretty disappointed. I mean, you saw the mixed reviews recently.
Yeah.
We can go read some of those, but I'm sure it'll reflect kind of till there's a good base. Yeah.
Well, okay, here's the problem. They specifically say in the right here, pre-alpha. If you're in pre-alpha, you should be updating constantly, and it should be buggy, but that's okay. You bug test in beta.
I would rather have more cool stuff and more bugs than no bugs. Yeah, which there are a ton of bugs.
Oh yeah,
for the record, it is very buggy. So it has the buggy part, but they're not adding content.
Not fast enough. Anyway.
I mean, yeah. I remember they said they were going to go from weekly updates to like once every 2 week updates, and that's just not been happening at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is one of those early access, and there's a lot of these that I mean that we have both bought and then kind of gotten burned on. DayZ standalone. Don't even want to talk about that one.
DayZ.
But that luckily Battlegrounds is out, and I like it. So, but
yeah, kind of disappointed with Astroneer.
Yeah. It was really fun. Yeah, I think I put probably 20, 30 hours into Astroneer in the first few weeks I had it, and haven't played it since. It's one of those games that has all that potential, but it's not getting developed. So,
well, it is just stupid.
Well, very slowly, yeah. So hopefully that changes. But yeah, who knows?
I don't even know why you would bother putting a game out for sale in pre-alpha. Like that's stupid. Okay, maybe alpha, maybe beta. Why pre-alpha? Like, pre-alpha is for you to actually make the game. You have to make the game before you start selling it.
Yeah. That's true.
All right, well, there was tangent number one.
And another thing about early access, it sucks.
Back to tangent number one.
It sucks because, so many gems have come out of early access. Like, for every one screw up, you have one that was great.
Actually, no, I would say the rate is much worse than that.
Yeah,
I would say
that's very true.
I would say for every good game that actually got released out of early access, it's like 50 garbage.
All right, I'll give you that.
Stuck in development.
A lot of those you never even see though.
Well, yeah. I'm not
on the Steam.
I guess I can't point to 50. Yeah, but I know they're there because there are so many early access titles now. Yeah, and there's Xbox has an early access thing now, and I'm pretty sure there's early access on Google Play now, and it wouldn't surprise me if PlayStation did something with early access.
Mobile games are crappy enough. You don't need to make it worse.
Yeah, okay. Early access for mobile games. That just doesn't make any sense to me because mobile games have always, except the big ones, they're small enough that you don't need considerable development time, and plus most mobile games are free anyway.
I think Flappy Bird.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, then you take it down.
I still have it. I still have it. I still have the APK.
We'll have to link everyone to Ben's version if it's up still. His knockoff.
He probably doesn't have it anymore. Wow. Okay. So that was the early access rant that we weren't planning on having, but that's okay.
Oh, well, this is tomorrow. So Overwatch. I think we've uploaded it before, right?
Yeah,
parts
of it,
and
yes.
in our compilation videos that we were doing probably last year.
Wow, yeah, that's been almost a year.
Yeah, those montage type things. So yeah, we haven't recently played a ton of Overwatch. I've been into it recently, you know, a game every week or two, stuff like that. But we've played it a lot in the past, and they do big updates for every you know, I would say major holiday. So Halloween's coming up. So the Halloween event starts tomorrow, the October 10th.
Is it?
Yes, yeah. It started last Tuesday.
Oh,
yep.
it's
Yeah,
right
so
there.
they tweeted about it. Yeah. So this is exciting. I know last year they had that Junkenstein, however you say it, Stein's Revenge mode. And that was kind of a disappointment. I know a lot of people in the community were kind of disappointed with that. I know I was. So
yeah, it just, you played it like once and then you played it 100 times.
So to me, it was like trying to be, you know, man versus machine from Team Fortress 2.
It failed to be man versus machine.
Man versus machine was phenomenal. I loved it.
Yeah,
you know,
we uploaded man versus machine.
Yeah, I know. That's unbelievable. Wow,
that was a long time ago.
That's crazy. But yeah, that mode. So I'm hoping they improve on that. It's a sort of horde mode, wave based horde mode. But the AI was awful. There weren't really unique units that you had to fight. So hopefully they improve that.
Yeah, they needed a lot more variety, and they needed it to be a lot more like dynamic. Well, okay, the second PvE event they had in, what was that event called? Like Uprising, like in universe.
Yeah, that was better.
When was that? Like May?
Yeah, that was this summer, I think.
Well, it was like late spring. I think. Anyway,
yeah.
That was a lot better. Still not like up to par with man versus machine, but it was a lot better because you would actually move around and you actually had different objectives, and there were like 6 different varieties of enemies.
Yeah.
The one thing I didn't like about it was that you were kind of locked into heroes. There was a mode where you weren't locked into heroes, but anyway. So skins look fantastic for this week's, or this well, yes, I guess it is this week's Halloween event. It's also next week's Halloween event. This year's Halloween event in Overwatch, which will last until November 2nd. I was about to ask that question.
So, and then they don't do Thanksgiving, do they? Usually they add some stuff, but it's not a big event.
No, yeah, okay. You said they do every major event, or every major holiday, but they do weird ones.
They do most of the major ones, I would say.
They do Halloween, which is good. Halloween is perfect for like cosmetic stuff. Obviously,
Christmas. Winter Games covers Christmas. Well, is it?
It's the holiday.
No, wait, it's not Winter Games. It's the Summer Games is for the summer.
And they have some winter.
I forget. Yeah,
they have like
for
a
Christmas and New Year's.
It's like Christmas and New Year's, and then immediately following that they have Chinese New Year. Which the skins are good, but
that's cool. I think it's cool because like some. You know, May, for instance, is Chinese, right?
Well, yeah, it makes sense for them to have...
In the universe, it's themed toward certain... So I like that. How they theme it toward certain backstories of characters.
Well, they really don't.
Well, okay, maybe I just read into it too much, but I think it's cool.
It makes sense for them to have different cultural events because the whole idea of Overwatch is a bunch of different... Like,
they're like the Avengers of...
Well, yes, but the thing about the Overwatch cast is they try to make them like from a bunch of different places. Like with the maps, they always like highlight
Gibraltar.
They try to highlight what country they're from. They try to have a variety of different countries. It's supposed to be like a global.
Yeah, they have like an Antarctica map. They have an African map. They have I think Middle Eastern map now, or like Indian type map for Symmetra. Yeah, so
Oasis.
And then they just added an Australian map for Junkrat,
which I have not played yet.
Yeah, I played it once, not great. Well, I've only played it once, so I'll give it time. But
yeah, well, all I know is I want this Cthulhu Zenyatta.
Oh, that is awesome.
That's awesome. I didn't think that they could create a Zenyatta skin that was better than Nut Yada, but they haven't done it.
That's true. That's better.
I spent my hard-earned competitive points on the golden nuts, and now I will not have the golden nuts. I'll have to trade them in for
But
the
you'll be
golden eyes.
Cthulhu, so
I will be
it's
Cthulhu.
a trade-off.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's
Cthulhu over nuts would be my...
I think I'll be Cthulhu half the year, and then golden nuts the other half the year. That's assuming
So during the summer, golden nuts, and then Christmas, Cthulhu.
Well, no.
Sure.
The golden nuts during Christmas, and then into like spring.
Into spring.
And then when it starts getting spooky, like fall, or wait, no, I have to account for summer, whatever. Not important. Anyway, those skins are pretty cool. If I'm not super lazy, I'll throw some images up on the screen so you're not just wondering what we're talking about.
Yeah, we'll show the skins. What else? Oh, May. Here, go back to that. That's...
Okay.
Now, what's that supposed...
She's definitely supposed to be a vampire, but I think she's also... It looks like partially based on... I was going to say based on Japanese folklore.
Maybe, yeah.
There's a...
The hat looks...
Maybe.
Maybe.
There's a Japanese, like, spirit monster thing that kind of looks like that. Huh. Then again, a lot of Japanese mythology is based in Chinese mythology, so it's probably Chinese originally. Anyway...
Symmetra, well, I never play her, so...
I think that's supposed to be a Diablo skin?
It looks like something out of Diablo.
And it looks like the character Diablo himself, kind of. Like
yeah, it does. The glowy
chest. I don't know.
Whatever you want to
like
call it.
Big hell scar, lava scar. All right. What else we got here?
So this past weekend was the Battlefront 2 open beta.
I think it's still going.
Okay. Oh, is it still going?
I don't know.
What's today, Monday? Yeah, I could see him. Okay.
I'm not really sure.
So that releases what, early November, I want to say?
Yeah, November 4th, I think.
November 4th? Okay. Yeah, don't quote us on that. But I know there's a 3-day period before where if you pre-order, you can play. So there'll be people maxed out stuff. Luckily, and this is a segue into it, you can just pay a ton of money and then you can also max out your stuff. So you don't need to pre-order, just be willing to spend more money.
Mm-hmm. Before we go there, I want to talk. I played a little bit of the open beta. I want to talk briefly about it. Actually, there's not a whole lot to talk about other than the fact that it is a very big improvement. Even from the little I played, I could tell it was a vast improvement over the first EA Battlefront, which that's coming from someone who played the actual Battlefront games, and I loved Battlefront 2 growing up. That when I was kind of young. I was like middle.
It would have been middle school, right?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that's when I was playing too. So.
That was a long time ago, 2005. Anyway, so I love those games, and I love like the big, big space battles, big land battles, lots of AT-STs and all that good stuff going on.
Playing on Huff.
Yeah, Huff, yes. The hero only mode. Mos Eisley Assault.
Classic. Those
are the good times. Anyway, then EA comes out with their Battlefront, and I hate it.
Yeah. Well, so we both almost got to the max level, although they probably increased it by like twofold now. I'm sure they always. I mean, I've played Battlefield since Bad Company, and they've always raised the level cap. So I'm assuming they did, but I stopped playing before them. But we played that quite a bit, right? Like I would say 80 some hours.
Yeah, I wasn't willing to spend 60 on it. I got it when it was on sale for like 30, and I think I got my $30 out of it.
Yeah, I
don't think I could have played it any more than I did because I think I got everything out of it.
Yeah. So it had some problems. The pre-order weapon that you got was like super broken and overpowered for like 6 months after the release. I had that weapon, so I was happy, but no one else I played with was happy. So. And there were a lot of balance issues, but
it was also just lacking in content.
It didn't have a campaign, which if you played Battlefront, the originals, Battlefront 2, you were upset. At least I was.
Well, I wasn't super upset about there being
I was because
mode.
I paid $60 for it.
Okay, that's a fair point.
There wasn't a campaign, and that was one of my favorite parts of Battlefront and Battlefront 2 were the campaigns, like choosing the how to boost your units before going into a planet, taking over the planet. Like
that wasn't the campaign.
That was the campaign.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
That was like one of the single player campaign
Yes,
modes.
there was. Okay, yes,
I guess
I
the
really
single
like that
player
mode. There was
mode.
like a kind of
Maybe not the campaign.
Yes, the campaign itself was really good in Battlefront 2, though. It was about the 501st, I think, and it like
I don't.
started like just before episode 3 or something, and like went through Order 66 and the clones turning into stormtroopers. Okay. Anyway, so okay, if EA Battlefront had just been like, if there were no single player modes, it was just a straight like upgrade to the multiplayer of original Battlefront 2, like it was everything the Battlefront 2 multiplayer was, but better, like better graphics, better sound, more maps, more units, all that stuff. I would have been fine spending $60 on it, because the Battlefront 2 was so good that if EA had done it right, I would have been willing to spend $60 on it. But of course, being EA, they did not. And well, I guess it's
DICE, technically
mostly DICE.
Although, so I was reading, apparently in Battlefront 2 EA, you have to put EA because
there's two different games with the same name.
So the naming, and also that explains kind of a lot of the crappiness of these newer titles are that the EA accounts for the bad decisions. Anyways, so I actually was reading, apparently the ground combat portion of this newest Battlefront is made by DICE, which is expected. They make Battlefield, Battlefront. But the air combat portion of is by another company that's developing it. So if you want to look that up, but so I was reading about that. So I thought that was interesting. So that means like maybe it'll have good air combat, because I've never loved the flying in Battlefield. I've never been good at it. I don't have a joystick, so that might be part of it. But
you shouldn't have to have a joystick to.
You shouldn't have to, but it helps. And so that's interesting. But the egregious part of this newest Battlefront, the part we actually want to talk about, a little more in depth, is the loot crates, or what do they call them? Loot boxes? I don't
actually know.
They probably have some futuristic name for them. I forget.
I think it might just be loot crates.
Okay, loot crates. Yeah.
Or maybe just crates.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Well, okay. Before we go there, the point I was building up to there was EA Battlefront 2 is so much better than EA Battlefront 1, and just based on the open beta alone, which maybe that's misleading. Maybe they put like all the good stuff into the beta, but the arcadey, like picking up heroes randomly off the ground is gone, or like picking up like any of the upgrades off the ground is gone, like the vehicles and stuff. You instead earn battle points, or whatever they call them,
scraps.
No,
I don't know.
I think it's called battle points. Funny enough, I think it's like the
credits.
No,
or is that
that's
the
out of game currency. I'm talking about the in-game, like game-to-game currency. Anyway, point is, you like kill stuff, and the more you kill stuff, and the more objectives you do, you can spend your hard-earned battle points, or whatever they're called, on vehicles and heroes and stuff. Mm-hmm. And like special classes, which is cool, because that's very similar
to how it worked.
Well, kind of. I forget exactly.
Wouldn't you just get the option to spawn as a hero if you like got a kill streak or like did really well?
If you were doing really well, you get the option to spawn as a hero. But there were special classes in Battlefront 2.
Yeah,
I forget.
The chain trooper.
Yeah, like that one.
I forget the red, the burgundy hood.
Yeah, that was such a sick class.
Yeah.
There's something kind of like that actually in this game. But anyway,
that's why I wish.
And this game has prequel stuff and sequel stuff, and I think it's gonna have the new stuff like Last Jedi and Force Awakens and stuff. Anyway, well, at the very least, they have like Rey in the beta.
Okay.
Which, I mean, no, I don't understand. Okay.
I don't like Rey that much.
I don't either.
Anyway,
but that's a completely different topic. So, yeah, the game is immeasurably better based on the... Gameplay-wise, based on the beta alone. And then they had to go and ruin it by buying into the trend that every major company seems to be taking nowadays and adding loot crates.
Yeah. So a little history. So in my opinion, and I know a lot of the criticism I've seen on YouTube and various other places has been, loot crates in video games, right? So like Overwatch is considered the most recent example of popularizing this idea of loot crates.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now CS:GO, I would argue, did it first.
No, TF2 did it first.
TF2, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I would say TF2.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, I spent hours trading crates on so yeah. TF2.
Why is Audacity? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're good.
So yeah, TF2, CS:GO, and then the most recent, Overwatch came out, what? A year and a half-ish ago? Yeah. About a year and a half ago. Yeah. A year and a half ago. Almost exactly. And so now in Overwatch, you can buy Overwatch is $40, or $60 if you get the deluxe edition, which is kind of pointless to get, but the skins are cool, so whatever. But in Overwatch, you can buy loot crates with real money. Everything you get from them, there's tiers, there's common, rare, epic, and legendary, I think is what they call them. And all of these are cosmetic. So it changes how your character looks, and that's it. Or like voice lines or emotes, sprays. Dances, sprays, which I even in TF2, like at least in TF2 you could have a custom spray, I think.
Yeah, the point of the fun of sprays in TF2.
Well, and the fun and horror.
Yeah, well, two sides of the same coin, right? Yeah, that was I guess TF2 and probably like the Counter-Strike games did that first. Basically, like the early Source FPS games all had the custom sprays that you could spray on walls, even with like animated GIFs and stuff. Yeah, and it was funny and horrifying if people used porn sprays. And it was the whole point was custom tags. They were pointless except for the fact that it was just fun. But then in Overwatch, they're like, here's a set of child-friendly sprays that you can have.
Yeah, it's kind of boring. Anyways, that being said, Overwatch, you can buy them. They're all cosmetic, and there actually was even controversy over that. People saying like, especially with like the limited time items, saying like, you can buy these crates with money, but then you can't use the currency that you have. So if you get a duplicate, you can buy skins with the currency, but you couldn't after events ended. You couldn't buy the skins with the currency. Or no, even during the event, you couldn't buy them with the currency during the first event.
Oh yeah,
and so they changed that now,
and they've also significantly. Another complaint was the duplicates, because after a while you just start getting like 2 or 3 duplicates per loot box, and you get 4 items total. We're explaining this, assuming that you have not played Overwatch and you have not opened a loot box, even though statistically speaking, you probably have at least seen someone do it. Anyway, the duplicate system was terrible, and you get tons of duplicates, and they recently significantly decreased actually, I guess it wasn't all that recent, but
I've yet to get a duplicate.
Yeah, they've significantly decreased.
I haven't played a lot, but and I'm like level 500.
So they've made a lot of improvements to the loot box system, and it was already a decent system to begin with, because it was a way to make extra money off of a already not free to play game, but without being unethical or making it pay to win. Exactly.
Yeah.
And people were mostly okay with that. Obviously, there's the question of like, how isn't that basically online gambling? And like, kids are playing this game. Shouldn't there be some sort of restriction with that? But that was a whole separate topic. But now, everybody and their mother in the game dev business is putting loot boxes in their games,
which if you do it like Blizzard with Overwatch,
right,
it's fine. EA is not Blizzard. Okay, so
wow,
yeah,
a revelation,
shocker. Everyone is jaw dropped, right? So basically the summary, and then we'll rant about how stupid this is, how anti-consumer it is, just in general bad decision making. But so the idea is this: so you have star cards, which are enhancements to your character, passive usually, correct? Mm-hmm. Not always, right?
Well, so. They can actually change. Shoot. Yeah, I didn't play enough to like really get a good grip on the system, but I think there are star cards that can change your weapon. Like I got one for the heavy class that changed the ability that let me pull out like basically a chain gun, and it changed the chain gun from like a super rapid fire. Low damage per shot thing to a low fire rate, high damage per shot thing. But the real problem here is there is a very large amount of these things, because they could have made it so that there's like 5 or 6 star cards per class or per hero or whatever, and then it'd be very feasible to get them all just by playing, right? Because you'd get them by leveling up or whatever.
Yep.
But they made it
tiers.
so there's tiers of it because Overwatch did it, so we have to do it too. Because
Also
Overwatch
money.
Well, yes, also money. Overwatch is making lots of money, and we have to make lots of money because we're EA and we love money.
Yay! Why do you do this?
So you can the rarer or the higher quality, I guess, of the star card
Tier 4
or whatever it is. Yeah, there's 4 tiers of each card or thing, whatever you're unlocking, and the higher the tier, the more powerful it is. It's not like
These are numerical stats.
Yes.
So damage, cooldowns.
yeah, it's literally they have like a list. It's like this increases or decreases cooldown by 10%.
Which is really...
If you get the next tier, it decreases cooldown by 20%.
Okay, so this is a separate rant. I mean, selling power is awful, but also like games that do customization with just percentage-based customizations bother me. Because that's just lazy to me. Like, yeah, we can change this number. Like, okay, that's cool. Like, do something graphical, you know? And I know that's something, and I have a theory as to why they didn't do something closer to what Overwatch does that I was reading about and I kind of agreed with.
Because they're lazy?
No. So I guess I'll just say it now. But so apparently people were saying that EA actually, like LucasArts or Disney,
I was going to say LucasArts does not exist
Disney
anymore.
owns Star Wars now, correct?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Disney owns everything.
So obviously EA has permission from them for making these games.
Yes.
They
need permission.
Millions, presumably.
Yes.
Now, from what I've heard, Disney doesn't want them adding variation with the Star Wars license. They don't want them to have access to more of the variation. Like maybe that's not part of their agreement. And so maybe EA can't add something like what Overwatch has. And so they're like, well, we still want to make money. And so they're doing this instead. And then they're justifying it by saying, well, the DLC is all going to be free as a result. So
yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
So that's my theory.
2 things to that, though. One, yes, I'm almost 100% sure you're correct about at least the part about Disney being very controlling over what EA lets them do. Because I remember reading about with the first EA, they wanted to give the Emperor a red lightsaber, right?
Yeah.
And Disney said, no, absolutely not, because right now, all we want to do, and you can tell this if you watch the recent Star Wars films, all we want to do is distance ourselves from the prequels as much as possible because everyone still remembers the catastrophic failure that was Episode 1.
Oh, my favorite movie ever.
Yes,
No,
or the catastrophic success that was Episode 1, depending on your taste.
Or lack thereof.
Or lack thereof. Anyway, so they said, no, you can't give him a red lightsaber because he doesn't have a red lightsaber in the sequels, in the original trilogy. So they were forced to give him just the stupid Force lightning thing, which is why the Emperor is so boring to play in the first game. Anyway, in this game, I guess they were like, oh, wait, people complained and didn't like it when we made a Battlefront game that literally just had stormtroopers and rebels shooting at each other the entire time and like 4 heroes and 4 villains, and that's about it. So they're like, oh, we should probably like start adding all this tons of lore and mythology that Star Wars universe has. But Disney, okay, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure they're trying really hard. I don't know if this is EA's fault or Disney's fault or both, but they're trying really, really hard to make at least the first Battlefront, I assume this one too, as it basically canon.
Yeah.
So they are not allowed to do
anything creative.
Pretty much.
And you can tell.
Yeah, it shows. It's awful.
I'm not asking for hats.
Like, I don't need a hat for my coach.
I don't need to be able to wear like a disco ball hat on my head as like Boba Fett. Like I don't need to be able to replace my helmet.
That would be fantastic.
But that would be awesome. Or like I don't need to be able to have like a Superman Boba Fett. As awesome as that might be. But I think some variation even like in the like cloaks that clones wear, like some of the special units, or like
even like they could have
even color. Now color's kind of a lazy variation.
I think
too, but
I think something that would work. First of all,
color would be a bad example actually.
They could do like insignias, right? Like a clan or
like in Battlefield.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Like in Battlefield. First of all, so they've done it before. There's precedent. Second of all, it wouldn't like be distracting And third of all, it would be a nice little piece of customization that you wouldn't need, but if you had it, it would make you feel cooler, I guess. But especially considering in this game, if you want to actually do well, you play in third person, which is kind of dumb. I think they should restrict it to first person, but that's a different discussion entirely. And since you're in third person, you can actually see your character. So customization actually matters. And of course, in the one game where customization actually matters, they decided to limit it to almost zero customization. But the second thing I just remembered, I was going to say to your theory a minute ago, I completely just forgot what I was about to say. Oh, okay. The problem isn't so much that they're not adding. Anyway,
so Ben Ben lives with us. We live in an apartment, and he just walked past with this like smirk on his face.
He's slowly inched out of the room.
Anyways, what were you saying?
Yeah, I got a bit distracted there. Let's see. Okay, well, you said. Yeah. Okay. So the real problem here, it could be fixed if they just took out the tiers, like the percentage differences. If
that
it was
would
just
make it less bad.
It would significantly improve it, I think, because.
Yes.
One of the things I haven't mentioned yet is that you get one free crate just for logging in each day, which is good it's a good idea. It's
similar to what Overwatch does. Not daily, but weekly.
Well, I like Overwatch's a lot better because it actually forces you to play,
but not a lot.
And also, yeah, basically. But anyway, it's good to keep first of all, it's good to keep the game alive, which was a problem with the first game because especially on PC, the player base was very, very small. And second of all, it's good to prevent running out of potential crates because you could hit max level and like get all the extra crates you get from doing achievements or whatever, and then you can't get any more crates, and there's still this thing you haven't unlocked because crates are random and you're not guaranteed to get everything. But that prevents it because you can just log in every day and eventually you'll get it without having to pay for it. Except that is extremely well, with the system they have, it's a lot more frustrating than that because every time you log in, you're probably just going to get the lower tier versions or like something you don't even... Or a duplicate.
Of a tier 1.
Yeah, exactly. When the higher tier versions are clearly better than the lower tier versions, and you are not done, quote unquote, with building, quote unquote, your character until you have all the high tier stuff. And you can't get all the high tier stuff unless you start shelling out cash
or play a ton.
A ton. Like every day. You have to log in every day. You have to hit max level. You have to do all the stupid
all your
side achievement
credits. Yeah, unlock them
exactly. And I don't think you can buy the crates with the in-game currency either. So I'm not 100%.
You can unlock the cards with the in-game currency, but...
Yes, there are things you can unlock with the
in-game currency. It's expensive. So like tier 1's what, 60 for some of them? It depends. I think it depends, but...
Yeah, they're basically forcing you to
It takes several hours to get tier 4 of one card. And there's a lot of cards, and there's a lot of classes, and cards for the classes.
Yeah.
And some of the most egregious ones, so I know Boba Fett has one... So he has his rocket barrage. He flies in the air and is shooting rockets, right? Obviously, rocket barrage. So the tier 4 version of the card makes him invincible in the air during that. So he cannot take damage. So that is objectively better than any of the other tiers below it. And I think tier 1 is like 20%, which is pretty good. But like invincible, like you're either invincible, you either can die or can't die. So if one person can't die and the other can, who's going to win? Well, obviously the one who... So I know in some of the flying, the plane type vehicles, there's like raw damage reduction, increased health, stuff like that. Which makes you unkillable by someone who has an inferior loadout.
Yeah. I did notice when I was playing that the heroes are actually surprisingly weak. I mean, considering the strength and power they had in both in original Battlefront 2 and in EA Battlefront 1. I hate
EA.
this. This is so confusing. There's now 4 games that have very, very, very similar names. There's 2 pairs in there that have identical names, pretty much. Anyway, I noticed they actually changed the name of Battlefront 2, the original one, in Steam. There's like a little parentheses after it, and it says, it's like Star Wars Battlefront 2, and then parentheses 2005, and then a comma, and it says original. They didn't just put I think it's original. Let me check that actually. They didn't just
original.
they didn't just put 2005, which would have made some sense. It's 2005 original. They had to specify that much. Probably for legal reasons. Oh no, sorry. Classic. It's yeah, I got the order wrong too. Classic 2005.
Wow.
Like that's just sad. Like you shouldn't have to specify that much.
Did they have to though?
I mean, legally probably.
Oh.
I don't know why else they would do that.
Okay.
I'm guessing there was some sort of, because I don't know who owns the rights to this, because Lucasfilm or LucasArts does not exist anymore. Oh, Disney Interactive's name is now tacked at the end of the publishers list. Okay, interesting. So that was probably a Disney thing. They're trying to distance this game as much from their own. Well, maybe you should have thought up a better name first. Yeah, that would have fixed your problem. Anyway, well,
I like the EA because it's not going to be as good.
It's like
know what to buy.
It's the seal of disapproval.
Yeah. The mark of the devil.
Mark
of the beast.
All right. Yeah, that was a little bit farther than I was going.
EA is the beast.
EA is the devil. You heard it here.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. While we're on this topic of loot boxes, okay, so Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, decent game, pretty good. Played it a little bit, got bored of the story. They're making a sequel, as you may or may not know, probably know. It's kind of getting some hype. Shadow of War, and it looks pretty good, but okay, entirely single-player game, right? They are adding loot boxes. Did you know this? They're adding loot boxes to this entirely single-player game, which...
It's not entirely. There are multiplayer aspects, apparently, or like co-op. I forget. I'll look it up later.
I did not know that. That is stupid.
So they're not like multi... Yeah, I'll look it up. But
it's probably so insignificant. It's primarily a single-player... Primarily a single-player game. And they're adding loot boxes, especially considering that the first game had no loot boxes or microtransactions of any kind. And
yeah, so it'll have a ranked online game mode.
A ranked online game mode? Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah.
That might change things slightly.
And so that's why this is controversial. Because of that. So it's ranked. So it's competitive. And you can get an advantage from what I've heard from these. So it's a very similar, albeit less egregious.
Yeah, I haven't looked into this one as much, so I'm going to be speaking a little bit out of ignorance here. But from what I've heard, you get pretty much everything in those loot boxes.
Okay.
Like, it sounds like you can get, like, what are they called? What they call the modifications, essentially, for the weapons. The runes.
Runes,
yeah.
Okay.
I think you can get, like, runes and stuff like that from them. Anyway, yeah, I haven't looked into that as much. But that just... so dumb to me. Like,
yeah.
Loot boxes are not the answer. Just because Overwatch did it and Overwatch is popular does not mean you should just say, hey, I'm making a game. I want to make money off it. I'm going to put loot boxes in it.
It's a trend, and it's worrying because, I mean, they're doing it because Overwatch did it, and then they're going to make millions of dollars off because it's Star Wars. I mean, I still want to buy it, even though I know I shouldn't. And I'm going to be the guy who ends up spending money on these stupid loot crates, probably. I mean, so, and that's the thing. It's people like me, we're the problem. But anyway,
Well, at least you're aware of it.
But yeah, exactly. Not. So it's a worrying trend where, companies continue to do it. They continue to be successful, millions of dollars in loot crates after the initial sales. So why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And, it's anti-consumer, but do they care? And I don't think EA does. I think.
As long as it is legal for them, I think the only two things that would stop them from doing it is the legality of it, and if they got criticized enough for it that it lost them sales.
Bad sales.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Not with Star Wars.
The interesting thing, okay, we will find out when they make Battlefront. What are you doing?
I was getting 70 megabyte a second download speed.
Congratulations. Oh, in Star Citizen?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
70 megabytes a second.
We have good internet.
It's 30
yeah.
gigs and I'm almost done downloading. I started it before I left.
Okay, but will you be able to run it?
Yes, it will run.
It will run.
It will run.
Uh.
Although I already encountered an error.
Oh man.
Good old Star Citizen. Anyway, I forget what I was saying. I was in the middle of a rant about something. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was saying it will be interesting to see when they inevitably make Star Wars Battlefront EA3, probably in like 2 years, whether or not they include loot boxes. And I
Well,
I
they
don't
will,
know. I don't know. I don't think I know enough to make a prediction yet.
and here's the thing, like, it's that balance of the DLC is free now, so you won't be splitting the player base, but they release them every 2 years anyway. And so, like, does it really matter? Like, I know with Battlefield, like, I've gotten the DLC for Battlefield 1, and I've been playing that a little bit recently. And I just wonder, like, I mean, I feel like I'd rather have the DLC stuff than the stupid loot crates, you know? I'd prefer to have it like Overwatch.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Add-ons to the game are free and there's not pay-to-win aspects.
Yeah,
but
ideally, yes, that would be. Now, if it's between the monetization model of Battlefront 1 and the monetization model of Battlefront 2, that's an interesting question, and I don't know if I can answer that. Because the DLC was way too expensive, and it also split the community really bad. And also, I don't think the DLC for Battlefront 1 was that good. And funny enough, they gave away the season pass of that DLC recently in like the Origin free on the house, whatever they call it. I don't know if they gave it away for free on console or not, but I play on PC, not console. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. The problem with the DLC, I already said. The DLC doesn't have the pay to win aspect. It just has the
segment the player base.
Yeah, pay to play, which
I'd prefer that.
I don't know that I would.
I would.
Well, the problem was the
Boba
player
Fett won't be invincible, at least.
The player base was so low. Well, no, that's the thing though. I think. That's another interesting question. Would the loot model be the same if you couldn't buy the loot crates? If there were still loot crates, but you couldn't buy them, would it still be the same
issue?
Well, it wouldn't be the pay-to-win issue.
Yeah.
It would be really grindy, really dumb.
That would be bad design.
Yeah, that would just be general.
But you're not allowing people to pay money to have an advantage. That's the problem with it.
Right, exactly.
They can pay time to have an advantage, but I would argue that anyone who plays the game more is more likely to... I mean, you should have more unlocked. Like, that's fine with me.
Right.
Yeah, but...
Well, okay, you should... I feel like a good progression system would be, as you play, you unlock more options. You don't unlock more power. You don't unlock straight up better weapons. You unlock more options, and you get to have a more diverse, like, skill set. I get. Well, no. Yes, you build your skills, and as you build your skills, you get more options to use those skills. So you get guns and whatever items that require you to be more skilled, but if you are more skilled with it, then it will be better than just using the default gun, right?
Yeah.
If you have, regardless of paying for loot boxes or whatever, if you have a system where it's literally just like, play a whole bunch of this game, just grind it out, and eventually you'll get an ability that is numerically, statistically, obviously better, I feel like that's dumb.
So you want...
It takes all the fun out of it.
You want harder to use, but a higher reward for the harder to use aspect, I guess.
Well, yeah, that'd be part of it. Basically, I feel like TF2 is a good example, I guess. As you...
Or like side grades.
Yeah, the idea of side grades, where...
Yeah.
As you progress, you unlock more options, more avenues for you to use the skills that you've been building. Like, the default gun should be easy to use, pretty well, like middle, well-rounded, but easy to use for beginners, and shouldn't. But you shouldn't, if you're like a freaking pro, you're a veteran, you should not be using, you wouldn't want to be using the default gun, because the default gun doesn't let you use your skills as much. I'm not doing a very good job of explaining this. Basically, Battlefront 2 system sucks in multiple ways, and I hate it. And I hate it especially because the rest of the game seems like it'd be so good, and I would finally get to play a good Star Wars game, like a good new Star Wars game. But no, EA has to ruin everything.
And I might still buy it, though. And that's the sad part.
I am not spending $60 on that game.
I always tell myself, I'm not going to do it. And then I'm like, oh, but I can freaking be Boba Fett. And then I'm...
Dude, we'll just play the original. No. We'll play... Okay.
No, I was looking. The original's like $80. Battlefront 2?
Not on Steam, it's not.
Oh, that's true. I was thinking for PS2, because we have a... So maybe we'll have to like upload a video where we actually we could do like a tour of our apartment.
Okay,
or
we're
something
not doing
cool.
that.
Okay, well I think that'd be cool, but
I disagree.
we have a sick setup like in our living room. We have like 3 or 4 gaming consoles, and it looks really cool. So
also really messy, but
that's part of it.
Anyway, yeah. So I had it up here a second ago. Nice. Okay. The 2005 classic 2005 edition of Star Wars Battlefront 2 is on Steam for $10. $10 dues, and you can play a much better game. And the multiplayer very recently got reactivated. I don't know how it works now, because it was using GameSpy. Is that what it's called? GameSpy? Yes.
Yeah.
And it still says GameSpy account. The multiplayer requirements still say GameSpy account required. GameSpy does not exist anymore, and it has not for some time. So the multiplayer was non-existent outside of but
it's back.
Yeah, like setting up a VPN, like Hamachi or something.
Wow.
And
the days where there's very positive reviews. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that. Wow. The classic version. So I'm sure there's some...
The top review right now in the past 30 days on Steam is, thanks for calling it the classic version because it reminds me that this is the only good one. I don't disagree. Wow, all the reviews are just better than EA's Battlefront. Roger. The best Star Wars game you'll ever play. WTF, I love Disney now. Well, you love them and you hate them at the same time. That's interesting. Okay, so does that mean that Disney is responsible for it coming back online? Because they added their name here, changed this name.
Maybe to like hype up this one.
That's
Dude,
so strange.
Watch them put it up for this month before, and then they take it down the day before.
The multiplayer.
Just imagine. Imagine.
The classic servers mysteriously go down the day before.
They add like a splash screen when you join a server, like, buy Battlefront 2 EA today.
Oh
man. Conspiracy theory, but...
Well, it doesn't.
The sad part is, I wouldn't be shocked.
Okay, that would be...
I don't think that's what's going to happen.
That would be a low blow, even for Disney. But it is strange, because if Disney is responsible for this coming back online, which I assume it uses like Steamworks now or something?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know. It doesn't say. It says, hey, multiplayer's back. And you can join up to 64 other players. It's funny, because the new EA Battlefront 2 doesn't support 64 players, but this one does, and it was made in 2005. I don't get it. I really don't. Like, it wouldn't be hard to just take the Battlefront 2 formula, improve the graphics, improve the sound, and while I'm on that topic, the sound and graphics are great in the EA versions. That's about the only good thing.
The sound.
Yeah, that's about the only good things about the first EA Battlefront. But imagine if you took Battlefront 2 Classic and you gave it the sounds and visuals of the new EA games. Imagine that.
So what I want.
What everyone wants, but what no one will ever get because EA.
Yeah. So that's our rant on the new Battlefront. Like I said, I will probably still get it. I'm sure Stoops will eventually too.
I will not spend
Against our best interest, probably yes, but
absolutely.
But you know, it is still Star Wars. I'll give them that. It's still Star Wars, and it's gonna appeal to me, and that's what they're banking on because they made it pay to win. So
they did go to a lot of efforts. One of the things I didn't like about the first EA Battlefront was it felt a lot like Battlefield with a Star Wars skin at times. And then even worse, like it would have been actually Battlefield with Star Wars skin would be way better than what their first Battlefront was. But at a lot of times it did just feel like Battlefield with a Star Wars skin.
Mm-hmm.
But I totally forget where I was going with that.
But this one it doesn't.
No, it kind of still does.
Okay. I mean,
I was going somewhere with that. I totally lost it.
I don't have a problem with that. It's the pay to win, man. That's.
Where was I going with that? That's gonna bug me. I completely lost my train of thought. Wow. Oh, and the new Battlefront has a campaign. I have zero expectations for that. I don't.
Well, we can hope.
Yeah, the trailers I've watched for it just don't like.
Yeah.
I don't react negatively to them. I also don't react positively.
Oh, I remember that.
It's just like, hey, that's a thing. That's a campaign. It seems like they're trying. They're making an effort. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. Okay, first game kind of felt like Battlefield with the Star Wars skin. It didn't feel very Star Wars-y at times. It was just kind of like, hey, this is a game. It kind of looks like Star Wars sometimes, but it didn't feel like Star Wars. This game, the new EA Battlefront 2, gosh dang it. It actually they made effort to make it feel Star Wars-y, which is good.
Yeah.
Like the menus feel like here's how you know a game is good. When you boot it up and the first thing you see, it immediately takes you into that like Star Wars or whatever mood or theme is trying to capture. Alien Isolation is a good example of this because the very first thing you see is like retro looking logos loading up. With this game, it's very similar. They have logos that kind of load in, but they're like holographic looking. And it's very like sci-fi, like Star Wars-esque.
Yep.
And the menus feel like Star Wars, and it's very Star Wars. They made effort to make it feel Star Wars, which is good.
Pay to win.
Well, yeah, I mean, I
guess that's...
Yeah. The crates don't feel very Star Wars, but I mean, they made them look Star Wars, but that's about where that ends. Are you kidding me? Right?
But so that's kind of our thoughts on Battlefront 2
Yeah,
EA. Battlefront 2 EA.
Battlefront 2 Star Wars, Battlefront 2 EA.
Now I don't know what sounds better, EA's Battlefront 2 or Battlefront 2 and then like sub EA.
Well, I'm just gonna call it Battlefront 2 EA because that makes it like it's like a derogatory label. If you say EA's, it's almost like saying EA owns it, which they do, but it sounds more positive. It's like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds or like Tom
It's like
Clancy's.
EA Sports. It's
like
in the game.
No, it's actually not like that at all. It's like Sid Meier's Civilization 5. Like that makes it sound cool. It's annoying because the name's longer. Like why is it called PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds? Just call it Battlegrounds.
Okay, that's
but at the very least, it does sound kind of cool.
Yeah.
So we're not. I'm just not giving them the satisfaction of EA's Battlefront 2. It's Battlefront 2 EA Edition. It's like Battlefront. It's a synonym for bad. Like Battlefront 2 Bad Edition.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how I do it. Anyway, we talked about that for a very long time. I think we might have just spent 30 minutes talking about Battlefront 2 and loot boxes. And this has been over an hour already, which is not at all what I was expecting. So I think we should probably wrap this up. So we can save some of these for next time. And
So this is kind of been what we plan on doing. Like we said at the beginning, kind of just talking about stuff, see where it takes us. Definitely leave some feedback for us in the comments or email us or whatever works best.
Twitter.
Twitter.
Hit us up.
I don't use Twitter personally, but
we got a Twitter.
We have a Twitter.
If you send us questions, which I don't really expect because we have like 5 actual regular viewers. By the way, if you're one of those 5 regular viewers, shout out to you for still watching our garbage.
We do care about you guys.
We do make an attempt. See, this is us making an effort because we've lost a lot of free time, and so we can't make videos nearly as much anymore. We're also not playing games that are conducive to videos. New stuff will maybe be coming soon. This is something we can hopefully be regular about, or semi-regular about, and like because it's low effort enough where we can literally just sit down and talk about crap for like apparently an hour. I was thinking more like 30 minutes, but
yeah.
This has gone on for an hour anyway. So I don't know what it's gonna look like. Maybe we start streaming. I don't know. What do you guys want to see? And we will try to fit that with what we are able to do right now. And also you can leave questions in the comments or like topics you want to hear us talk about. You can also tweet them at us. I don't check the Twitter all that often because no one really tweets at us. And by no one really tweets at us, I mean no one tweets at us. But if you want to tweet at us, I will maybe start checking it. Comments are
be the reason we check Twitter.
We do read the comment. Yes, if you leave us, if you tweet us, also leave a comment and say, "Hey, I'm tweeting at you," so I start checking Twitter. Anyway, if you leave a comment, we will 100% see it. Probably like within 24 hours of you leaving the comment, I will see it anyway. We do actually read the comments. I don't really like respond to all of them, even though like there's usually like 1 or 2 per video, but we do read them. So if you want to see us cover something or have a question you want to hear us answer, leave a comment. I just realized we never talked about the who question. So right now, obviously, it's me and Jared.
Yes.
And Ben was a very brief guest star.
What we've discussed, it'll be Stoops and I. That'll be kind of the core. We'll be the hosts, if you will. Now, we do plan on having, Ben, probably, maybe Cardosi, but he's really busy and he's kind of far away from us at school right now. Maybe though, over like Skype or something. Even
we can bring Cardosi in over Discord, but he is extremely busy. So,
but we
here's Ben. You want to say a word, Ben? Say a word. Say one word. No, don't say one word because I know what word you'll say.
Anyways,
one word.
Oh, he said one word.
Said
there
it.
We
Wow.
go. Okay.
Anyway, so Ben will probably be on at some point, and then we have some other friends who we go to school with.
Yeah, if you want to. Okay. Actually, never mind, because we're not big enough to like have actual guest people. We might have. Oh, that I got on my computer. Anyway, we might have like other people on at some point, but it'll mostly be me and Jared, and sometimes Ben, and maybe sometimes Cardosi. I don't know. We haven't even asked Cardosi if he wants to do this at all, or if he has no idea we're doing this. He's probably finding out by watching this video. So Hi Cardosi, you're probably the only one who's gonna watch this for a while. Anyway, so that's that.
And let us know if you would prefer it to be shorter. The whole concept is this is open-ended, so if we talk for 2 hours, we'll probably upload something that's close to 2 hours long. Minimal editing. So yeah, let us know. But yeah, this is kind of the format we want to go with. So it's fun.
Yeah.
And that was good. So we'll see you
on Twitter.
On Twitter. But also in the next.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We have like a Twitter and also a Facebook. I don't think anyone uses Facebook anymore. So you can follow us on Twitter. We tweet out and also Facebook out. That's not a verb, but I made it one. We Facebook
post.
We face post.
Face post.
We post it. We face post and tweet our videos when we upload them. We also have a Steam group that we don't really use for anything, but if you want to like join it and then like
we might, if we get active again, we might try to do some like squads if one of us is on for like Battlegrounds, if any of our viewers play that. So that'd be fun.
Yeah,
that's kind of the main game we've all been playing. So
yeah,
but Overwatch, still, there's not as much free time now. Mm-hmm. So
we also have a subreddit which there are 4 subscribers for, and I can name them. Me, Jared, Ben, and Carducci. Wow.
Yes,
okay.
wow.
We post the videos on the subreddit, and you can post whatever you want on the subreddit as long as it's not like porn or something, because we'll delete it. But if you want to like talk about stuff on the subreddit, it's there. I mean, we don't really like keep track of it a lot because we know no one really cares about it. But it's there. It's like a forum if you don't know what Reddit is. Anyway, it's there. We also have a Twitch channel, which maybe start using. I don't know. We'll see. We will definitely like tweet out and make like a video or something if we start streaming regularly or semi-regularly on Twitch. But yeah, so all those links are in the channel thing. There's like a banner on our channel, and then on the right, there's like a bunch of little links in a little.
You guys can find it. I believe in you.
You're smart people.
Maybe we'll put like a picture in the end or something.
No, I'm too lazy to do that.
No, okay, well, okay, find it. Just find it, and if you can't, well, that's too bad.
There
I don't know.
are definitely links there. You just have to believe. You have to look into your heart to find them.
So. I think that's it, right?
Okay, yeah, I think we, yeah.
All right, see you guys.
See you in the next,
talk to you guys, I guess.
Video, which will probably be another one of these, but who knows?
We might have some content coming, maybe.
This is content.
Well, video content.
We might have some higher effort content.
Yes, so, yeah. Talk to you guys next time.
Bye.
Ben says bye and goes Karen.